Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Obasuyi. Today, I'm going to be talking about empowering our kids. A lot of us as parents, especially those of us in the diaspora, tend to wonder why the Asians and the likes are doing a lot better and improving every day in different sectors compared to us, the black folks. Now we're not talking about the white folks, we're talking about the Asians as an example. The question is, what exactly is it that these people are doing with their kids, or how are they raising their kids that's different from the way we raise ours? As a parent, I've been privileged to take my kids to different extramural classes. And I find again and again, I find a lot of these kids, Chinese, the Tamils, I tend to see them everywhere. And I can count the number of black kids that I see in this area, in these places. Even if you go into sports, you'll still see them there. So how are they empowering their kids that we are not doing? A lot of us believe that the child that will become a king will be, even if the child doesn't, does not have anybody to nurture him or her. True, there's destiny, but again, you cannot underestimate the power of mentorship or the child having a role model to guide him or her. I see Tamil parents. Some of them, you can tell, they can barely speak English or barely speak good English. They bring their kids to math classes, science classes. Why? Because they understand the power of education. A lot of them understand, okay, they didn't go to school, so they want their kids to get the best education that they can afford. Some of them have to do 2-3 jobs to send their kids to these programs. Whatever you sow is what you reap. Keeping the kids in these programs, I think, has two advantages. Number one, the child is not idle. An idle mind, they say, is the devil's workshop. The child that comes back from school at maybe 3 p.m. until the next day, he or she doesn't have anything to do. Because most of the schools these days in the Western world, a lot of them don't believe, especially public schools, don't believe in giving the kids homework to do. The child does whatever they're supposed to do at school till the next day, they don't have anything to do. An idle mind is devil's workshop. What does the child do? They play games the whole time. That's wasting precious time every day. Some of the kids are smart enough, they read their books. But a lot of them just use the time to play. How do you expect that child to compete tomorrow with the other one that is spending time at extra math, science classes and achieve the same results? It's almost impossible. You ride a bike every day, you become more perfect at it. The same way with studying. The more you study a particular topic, the better you become at it. So a lot of us as black parents, the money we spend in buying our kids the latest Nike shoes, the latest clothes and all those things can better be used to empower our kids by preparing them. Send them to these programs. Send them to these programs. They will learn a lot more. Tomorrow they can afford to buy even better Nike shoes than the one you're buying right now. But if you use the money to buy the Nike shoes, instead of empowering them through education, tomorrow you're still going to be the one to keep buying those shoes. Because what you succeeded in doing is you succeeded in training that child's brain to always look for the brand names. without the means to support it. Because if you're not there tomorrow, how is that child going to be able to afford those things? Education is the key that most minority groups have used to climb up the ladder. So people that understand it, make sure that the next generation, they empower them as much as possible, in order for them to climb the ladder. Even if your child is good in music, of course there are the kids that even without going to music classes, they still do very well. But there's always that extra edge. The child is good in music, put them in music classes. That way they can fare a lot better. Your child is struggling with, your child is good in sports, put them in there, maybe register them in a sport academy. It will take you time, of course, to drive them there back and forth every time they have to do training and all those things. Same thing with music. You will have to be taking the child there until they can afford to go on their own. But it's an investment that will yield returns later on. So I really think a lot of us, especially the black people, should learn to invest the little funds, the little resources we have, in the right directions. Buying your kid Nike shoes, the best Nike shoes every time Nike releases a new one, does not do you any good. Doesn't do the child any good. Most times you see when Nike is releasing a new product, I see a lot of kids. They stand there, some of them even sleep in front of the store till the next day to be able to get the newest one. How many of them go to the library to do the same thing? Maybe there's a new book that just came out. How many of them go to the library to say, okay, I want to get that book? Very few. The same energy that you use in sleeping at the store, at the front of an Apple store so you can get the latest phone, you can use that same energy to go to the library to study. You are making Apple richer by becoming poorer. But if you channel that funds into education, tomorrow you can build your own Apple products. So we need to, as parents, please let us look at this critically. We want to give our kids the best we can, but give them the best of what they need, not what they want. What they need, not what they want. Teach them to fish. Don't give them fishes. Teach them to fish. Giving them fish won't do them any good. You give them fish, it lasts only one day. Teach them to fish. For the rest of their life, they'll be okay. They won't need you. Every child needs guardians. As parents, that's our number one role. Protect them and guide them. If we see them going on the wrong side, direct them back. The more we can do to empower them, the better their future is. So as black people, let's stop wasting the little resources we have on on irrelevant things. Material things that won't help them in any way. Instead, let's invest in what will develop them. Here. Mental development. This is what we should be investing our money on. For the kids, even for us as adults. Of course, we all like good things, true. But invest in what will give you those things instead of spending your income directly on it. Thank you. If you have comments, please leave them for me in the comment section. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you.